Hi guys, welcome to Sing for Your Supper. Today, I don't know if you can see out the window, but it's gotten a little cold and rainy, and I don't know about you, but when it starts to get cold out, I start wanting some nice warm comfort food. So I'm doing double duty today. I'm making a soup, and in the meantime I'm making myself lunch. I'm making some roasted vegetable sandwich. So my vegetables are in the oven right now roasting. And I'm making a creamy carrot soup, which you may think, creamy, uh-oh, does that contain cream? Is it going to be unhealthy for me? But it doesn't contain cream. What I use to thicken it is actually an extra firm tofu, which I know you probably think it sounds gross, but it's so creamy and delicious. Okay, so my toast for my sandwich just popped up. And I got some nice herbed goat cheese here. Lots of times I'll put my own herbs in goat cheese, but I saw this at the store the other day and I thought I'd give it a try. Always wanting to try new things. So just spread about half a tablespoon on one side of the bread. And then I have my light mayo here, which is only 15 calories per serving. Just adds a little bit more moisture to the sandwich. And I have my honey mustard here, and just gives it a little sweetness and just a little bit of spice, not too much, from the mustard. And just squeeze a little bit of that on there and spread it around. I like to have everything evenly distributed throughout the sandwich, so you get a little of everything in each bite. Okay, now I'm just going to layer my vegetables onto my bread. These are just little baby spinach leaves. I get these at a bulk store, and it's only $4 for this huge container of spinach, and I use it on everything, so it's a great buy. And I have my little Roma tomato, and I'm just going to cut it lengthwise to get nice long planks for my sandwich. Looks nice and ripe. It's nothing like a nice ripe tomato. Okay, and the final addition is just a couple of pickles. I like to cut it diagonally. Just a little fun, makes you feel like you're eating out. What a good looking sandwich. Now it's time for the big bite. And big is right. Look at that sandwich. Oh, so delicious. Roasting vegetables just brings out all the natural sugars in the vegetable, and it just makes them a little bit sweet, and you can really still taste, the essence of each vegetable. And that goat cheese is really creamy. You can taste that little bite of pickle. And I'm just eating it with some grapes. So I'm going to finish my lunch while the vegetables in my soup are just getting nice and tender. And when we come back, I'm going to puree it up in the blender with that tofu. Just wait. Okay, so I'm donning my apron just because I think this job might be a little bit messy. And I don't want to get my dress a mess. Alright. We may need to do this in 2 batches because it looks like an awful lot. But those sweet potatoes and carrots and onions are nice and soft now. So let's just ladle that into the blender. I may just do this in 2 batches. So put half of your carrots and sweet potatoes and broth. Don't forget to get the broth in there. Put it into your blender, and then we'll put half of the tofu in this batch and half of it in the next, so it all gets incorporated. Okay, so here it is, light, firm tofu. I thought I had gotten extra firm, but if you can find extra firm light tofu, get that. It's made from soy, and it has tons of good, healthy protein in it for you. And again, you don't have to eat it raw if it scares you, and you would never know that this wasn't, a cream in here. So just cut that in half. You can pull it right out of there. And I'm going to crumble it up a little bit just to help it along. And we're going to put the top on and whiz it up. Alright, make sure the top's on nice and firm so you don't splatter yourself. So my second batch of the pureed vegetables for the soup with the tofu is done. And I just wanted to pour this in front of you so you see how creamy and smooth it is. Just look at that. I'd swear that this had a ton of cream in it. And instead of cream, it's got a ton of fat and calories in it and cholesterol. You've got the nice lean tofu that's full of great protein. So can't beat that. Alright, try to get as much of that out of there as you can. And just stir up the two batches. If you want to make a smaller batch, that's totally fine. But I like to make a big batch of this because it freezes really well. I just put about a ladle full, or about a cup full, in just little plastic baggies. And I store them in the freezer, and then quick, super healthy lunch, just pop it in the microwave and you're ready. Alright, so I have my curry powder here. Just going to sprinkle a good amount, probably about a tablespoon in there. If you don't like curry, you can leave it out. You may even want to try some different flavors in there. You could try some rosemary. This actually probably has a bit of thyme in there from my chicken broth that I made myself. Alright, give that a nice stir. And a little help from Goliath. You may need a lot of help from Goliath because it's a pretty big pot of soup here. Okay, and then final ingredients, my favorite, salt. Just pour about 1 to 2 tablespoons in there. We already have a bit of salt from the chicken stock, so you don't want to start with too much. And just stir that all around. Again, if you don't like salt, or if you're watching your sodium intake, you can just use sea salt, or you can use a salt substitute instead of the full flavor stuff. Okay, it's nice and mixed up. Ooh, look at that, nice and creamy. I'm just going to taste it and see if it needs any additional seasoning. Now this is the first time that I sweat the carrots and the onions. Usually I just throw them right in with the stock, but it's given it a nice little sweetness. And this soup is one of the most comforting things when it starts to get cold and dismal out. And you know what? Even though I already had my vegetable sandwich, I think I want just a little cup of soup. So I'm going to turn this soup into my little afternoon dessert. I'm really just going to have a little bit of it because I'm pretty full from that sandwich. You'd be surprised how much those vegetables fill you up. Alright, and I have a little graham cracker here. It's a nice little cinnamon graham cracker. I'm just going to crumble that on top. And it's kind of like a little mini pumpkin pie or something like that. Usually if I had ginger snaps, I would crumble a little bit of that. So this soup, you can serve it cold, you can serve it hot, you can serve it sweet, you can serve it savory. It's very multi-dimensional. I hope you try this at home, and I hope you have a great fall. Cheers.